Your and I friend Cody Rhodes had a successful title defense over in France, the very first WWE PLE ever, and real wrestling history was made. Jade Cargill is now a tag team champion, but that's not really the story. The story was the crowd, and it was bananas to the point that the hard camera was shaking for Cody and AJ. Like you could literally see the camera moving because the floor was moving because the building was so loud. They set an all-time revenue record. It is the biggest gate of any arena show in WWE history. Meaning, yes, they've drawn more money in a stadium show, but never in a traditional arena. And I was fortunate enough to check in with the champ after. And he said it is indeed the loudest crowd he's ever wrestled in front of. Did you have a chance to see the show? What did you think of the crowd?
So you know what? Obviously, I've kind of gone into what my Saturday was, but of course, social media. You get bits and pieces and highlights, and you know, Conrad, it's so you know how much of a fan I am of international professional wrestling. In that we as in the United States, we've always been that export. Our show made here in America, it goes out to Europe, it goes out all over the world, and has for years and years and now. And so the folks, they're not spoiled or jaded, or they don't get to have it, you know, weekly in their town. And I know, you know, what's the saying? Familiarity breeds contempt, or whatever. I probably messed that up, but it just goes to show you just the electricity and vibe. And, you know, I was telling this story actually early this morning at the gym because it's a buzz just about the star of the weekend was the crowd. And that is a European crowd. And, you know, when you do autograph sessions at the big events, around the big tentpole events, you'll have folks from all kinds of countries. Australians are loud and proud. When you come to when they come through the lines and you sign autographs, you know, the Europeans will tell you, "Hey, Jeff, I'm from," and then fill in the blank. Germans, French, UK, Scott, Ireland, all the European countries. Those fans that are really, really into it, they are proud of where they're from. And I think I'd love to get your opinion on this. I think in a way, those folks took it to another level because they knew the whole world was watching. It's like they were almost performing for the whole world. What do you say?
Man, it felt like it. It was impressive. It was a vibe. It was, and I gotta say, I don't know that you had a chance to see it all the way through, but for a few shows now, we've seen Jey Uso's entrance, or fans during Jey Uso's entrance, you hold their cell phones up, do the old Bray Wyatt Fireflies thing. But when he raises his hands up and down in the corner like he does, they wave their cell phones too. The result is one of the more impressive ring entrances in wrestling today. And I kind of think that's cool, Jeff, because, you know, if you watch enough wrestling, eventually you realize there's very little new stuff. It's always, you know, somebody's doing what's been done before. But that show in particular, it felt like that crowd, that's something new. You know what I mean? Like, and that entrance with Jay, it's got to be one of the more impressive entrances in wrestling right now.
And see, that's kind of where, like in the 90s, when we would go and we toured Germany a lot, but you go into the houses over in Germany and the people would be deafening. I mean, I could remember a couple of different tours. Bret Hart and Razor Ramon were the top two baby faces. And when their music hit, just the sound of their music, there was a sustained pop of "I can't wait." And then they come through the curtain and another big pop. And then they would both walk down the aisle and get up into the ring and kind of do their signature beauty shots and another whole pop. And then the lights would, you know, restore. And in the arena shows, it would just be a light over the ring because it wasn't TV. And when the bell would ring, ding, ding, there's another simple pop. like, okay, now they're ready. And then you could just do the most simplest lockup spot or whatever it may be in another pop. It's the enthusiasm. And it goes back to they don't get the opportunity to see it live. And when you see professional wrestling live, we often, me and you, Conrad, both tell folks there's a completely different energy to it. And, you know, back in the 90s, when our man Road Dogg would do ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that was to me, and I know there's catchphrases of Stone Cold and The Rock, and I mean, we could go all the way through the kind of the era of catchphrases, but Brian kind of had that, I mean, soliloquy or whatever it is, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines, and people would sing and say that word for word. And it's just that crowd engagement. But when you do it in front of a crowd that doesn't get the opportunity to do it, it just goes to a whole nother level. So hats off, man. That's what the business is all about. That just incredible energy. I mean, right now we're, you know, quite a bit this summer at AEW. We've done our shows in Canada, Toronto, off the charts. London was our first time in that arena. That place was off the charts. You know, Winnipeg, Edmonton, Vancouver. This will be our first time in Vancouver. The hot crowds, they're just so fun to perform in front of.
Here's what we're positive about.
Okay.
We're going to watch some silly wrestling today.
Silly.
We're going to be watching Nitro
Oh,
from way back when, May 8th, 2000. I can't believe this happened 24 years ago this week.
wow.
But this is absolute chaos of WCW. So just to sort of catch everybody up, Bischoff was shown the door in late 99. Russo comes in, almost right behind him. You come in. That doesn't work as well as they hoped with Russo leading the charge. They ask Eric Bischoff to come back. And essentially in April, they hit the reset button. Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo working together. The result is you become the chosen one. And along the way, we start doing some business with David Arquette as well. An absolute crazy time here in WCW. And I can't wait for you guys to watch with us. So fire up your Peacock, go to Nitro, and go to May 8th, 2000. That's May 8th, 2000. And Jeff and I are going to be watching it here together. My goodness. What a crazy show this is. I actually screened it again this morning. I haven't seen it in 24 years. And I can't wait to watch it with you and get your feedback. So
we should get in Tony. But no, so refresh me, because I started in October of 99.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric was took a leave of absence, or however we want to say it, before I got there, right?
Yes, he was gone before. So when he goes home, Russo comes in, and then you followed.
And then Eric didn't come back till April.
He comes back in April, and we reset everything.
Yeah. Okay.